My brain's been.
Listen, I'm not judging you before. Oh, you already went live.
I'm sorry.
No. I'm trying to find where this sound is coming from. Do you hear it?
Mm-mm.
Sounds like a storm because I had a storm thing going on. Okay, I cut it off. I didn't want you to get in trouble
No,
uh
you're fine.
with this thing they call YouTube. Jessica,
Hello, everybody.
what's up? What's up? Um, hello. Welcome to the live show.
Yeah, we're here to talk about the plot is murder for Noir Apothecary.
Um, yeah, we're here to talk about that. Um, we read The Plot is Murder by V.M. Burns,
Mm-hmm.
who is a Black cozy mystery writer for the most part. And what I've gathered, because I haven't read all her stuff, and I'm ready to read book 2, but I can't find it, the audio version. But what I've gathered is that she tends to like to write books that have a pet somewhere in that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just want a pet up in that thing. So before we get started, give us a black emoji if you read the book. And if you haven't read the book, give us a green emoji. And the black or green could be whatever you want. Alana, this is your live, and I'm over here chatting it up. So
No, it's okay. I don't mind. It's your readathon.
she said it's your readathon. Is
Yes, it's your baby. You created it.
Is it?
I'm just here to watch. No, I'm kidding.
No. Yeah. So I will say that this was a suggestion I gave to Alana to read. Your full thoughts is welcome. So don't feel like you can't speak your truth. What else was I saying? Girl, now we forgetting all the things. But anyway, Mayima read it. Renee read it. You gave it 4 stars. I want to continue too, but where is book 2?
Yeah. So we'll start so what did you guys okay, so someone already rated it. So what did you guys rate it overall? I think I gave it 4 stars as well. Either 3.5 or 4 stars between that.
That's probably something I should have. Hold on. Let me go to Story Graph. I don't really remember it nothing. Let's see.
Someone said a generous 3.
Renee said that? Yep.
Yeah.
I knew it before I even read it. I knew she said it. Let me see. So I suck at inputting my stuff. So if I didn't put it on here, that's what happened.
Someone said
it 5 stars. That can't be right.
Why are you questioning and doubting?
There's no way. I'm gonna put it to 3.
Yes, I loved the granny. She was.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually put it to 4. It was a grandma that bumped it
Likes this too.
3 to a 4.
Yeah, it was the old ladies for me that bumped it up because it was a 3, and then with the whole thing with the old ladies being basically her sidekicks, I was like, that's a bump up.
Given, yeah. What did you give it?
I think I gave it 3.5 to 4, between a 3.5 and 4 stars. I think I leaned closer to a 3.5, but
okay. This is the thing. Most cozies don't sit right with me because of the pace.
Mm-hmm.
And the pace will just make me feel like I got to get out of here. And to be honest, so this might be strange, but for me, I hate to say it, I'm in love with the Hallmark Channel.
No, I love it.
I don't want to be canceled or at. And I say that to say I will watch a romance meet cute all day. Do you hear me? All
Their
day.
Christmas movies, that whole like, from literally now they're doing it all year, I love that shit.
Yeah, I will do it all day. Now Hallmark has Hallmark and Mysteries, and they're all cozy mysteries. I will watch it all day. I've been watching them all
Mhm.
day. Something about reading them that ain't my jam.
Yeah, I feel
There's
that.
something about eye, ear. I just
For this to be, like, my first cozy mystery, it wasn't terrible, it wasn't too bad.
no, the
I
first
actually
was better.
enjoyed the fact that this didn't really like, it did have a romance element within her book, but within the story itself, it didn't have a romance element, and I actually enjoyed that a lot. I
Yeah.
feel like if she had tried to force that after, like, her story, it wouldn't have made sense.
Agree. And I love the story within the story. I felt
Mhm.
like that added to the complexity of it. I also didn't feel like the pace was super slow.
Yeah, and I felt like the
Was
story within the story helped with the pace.
It did. It most definitely helped with the pace because if anyone out here reads cozy mysteries, there's a series called the Giuseppe May Brown series. Hallmark picked it up. Tamara Mari Housley is the executive and producer. She stars in it. I'm so excited. I saw the first episode. It's so good. But the reason why I stopped reading that series, just put it on pause really, because it feel like I'm watching paint dry.
Mhm.
So when they made it into a series on Hallmark, I'm behind it. Now I gotta see if there's more episodes, but I did watch the first episode and I did
Mhm.
like it. Um, so that's kind of what I feel on that.
Let's see. Hmm.
Yeah, Jessica made it known in the group chat. That's why I didn't respond to her that she didn't like the book because I was waiting for this time to talk about it. That's why Jessica said it was no stars for me. It was none.
That's
Those of
funny.
us who gave it, who thought, it was a generous 3 or gave it a 2 or just didn't like it, like, what about the book that didn't, like, you felt like didn't work with you? A
Let's
spell for
see.
that's
Renee
also
said that they did not like the story within the story, which that's valid. I feel like it could go hit or miss usually if there's a story within a story.
yeah, I tend to like a story in a story, but I also that's why Black Awena Sign has so many time manipulation kind of things going
Mhm.
through it because I like that.
Yeah.
Probably should have thought about the broader folks, but
I did read a spell for trouble as well for Black Queen, and I actually enjoyed uh the plot is murder a little bit more than that one. But
I'm gonna put to read. I just added that. Any more things? I'm gonna start being that girl that add to read on my story graph because I don't do that, and then I forget about the books, and I'll be like, dang, I wanted to
Mhm.
read that. So, any other cozy mysteries? I'm here for. Hi, Floor. How are you, my love?
Yeah, sorry, I was thinking. I liked the lady's husband died, so I was saying that I liked the fact that they didn't try to force any romance or anything. Um,
With that cop guy.
yeah, yeah. I was at first like I was like, "Oh man, don't do that." And then when you got to know him more, I was like, "This guy's kind of dumb. Don't definitely don't fall
He's
for him."
definitely kinda dumb. Sometimes a little bit of propaganda and a cozy kinda annoys me.
Mhm.
I'm like that's how I feel about the Hannah what is it? Hannah Sweeney, mysteries on Hallmark, and she's, like, falling for the cop, and I'm
Mhm.
just like,
Yeah. I feel like this is valid. I mean, I don't know. Mainly made for a white audience.
that
It's valid.
valid, valid, valid. So Another thing is, I don't know if anybody ever read the law. Hold on, I gotta find the book is near me. If anyone read this series, it's the law. It's a Martyr Maker novel, Laws of Depravity. Is the author is black, Eric LaSalle, and I still don't know if I feel like all the characters in this are non-black. Let me know if I'm wrong. Because when I was reading it, I was like, because I think the female detective is Latine, and the male detective, Quincy Kavanaugh, is white, and Fee Freeman, or is it Janet? No, is it Janet Macklin? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It feel it gives. I don't know.
Let's see. That's fair. The way I didn't pay attention to any like to what any of the other characters look like. I don't remember any descriptions.
Yeah, but I will agree with you, Jessica. Sometimes that bothers me depending on the context. If I can't be able to be like, hey, this is for, you know what I mean? Like, there
Mhm.
is, oh my God. Hold on, sorry.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't. Some people didn't like the story within the story element. I think for me, that's what kept like it a little bit more interesting. Was just like when they would add the story within the story, it was like another, like if I was getting tired of the main story, then the new story would hit, and I'm like, okay, it's a little change, a little different.
Yeah, for sure. Um, Dang, so many people didn't like the story within the story. Is there ever a book where you do like the story within the story? Or is just this one didn't fit? Like it just wasn't vibing with you?
Was it like the fact that it was like Regency era, which I kind of
Yeah, that could be it too. People are like, I'm over that. It was very white. Yeah, agreed.
that's
Agreed.
fair.
Because when I got into this book, okay, let me just pause because I'm comparing them both because of the characters not being black, not because of the context. But when I read The Plot is Murder, I was like, I assumed they all were black because I couldn't remember or I couldn't remember a description. Or if it was said, it didn't stick to my brain and I kind of like brushed past it. And then when I read some reviews to catch up on tonight, I was like, dang, a lot of whiteness happening there. And I was just like, that makes sense. And then because I'm thinking, maybe this is like some kind of what's that show? Bridgerton
Mhm.
situation where, that's what I thought what was happening. And then in this book as well, it's like every time like something was mentioned, I was like, did I hear that right? Is none of the characters black? Like
Mhm.
I don't know. So definitely this will be this unfortunately, even though I like this series and VM Burns books, I'll have to read other books. It's not gonna have to be on the suggestion list for Black Halloween any other time, but not for Black Halloween.
That's fair. I
Yeah,
do think that the best part were the grannies.
that was it. That's it, that's all. Not that's it, that's all, but I thought other parts were good too, but
Mhm.
um the grannies really, really got the story together. And if there's a granny, I'm there.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
that's
this
true.
is fair. The main
That's
story does have to be good. I think like the side story was like a little bit more juicier because like the main story she was trying to solve a murder. Well, I mean in both stories they were trying to solve a murder, but I don't know. It was also that added element of like in the side story, the girl was like willing to give up her partner to be the guy she loved so he could be with her sister. And I was sitting there like, why? Or you could just have him since you love him so much.
True that too. True that too.
Yes, the casino. That was fun. Because it was a group read, so that adds another layer of disappointment to me. Dang. Might try another book.
Jessica, you better not be mad at me.
I'd be willing to try at least the second one and see how it goes. Overall. Excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, I liked that her dog was protective.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that she had a grandmother who cared for her and was like, we need to figure it out. It sucks that the grandma was more interesting than her.
Yeah, when the grandma kept coming out with that gun, I was cracking up because I was like, "What?" I was like,
I
"That's so
was
wild."
like, Granny is really that girl. I did like the descriptions. I felt like the way that she wrote it was beautiful. That's just me. I just felt like the descriptions of it was really nice. Not the dogs grabbed all their scar. But all stars. I just felt like she's a good writer. I would return to her. But I would there's already and this is just a critique that I have for her making the decision to write white characters. There's so many cozy mysteries of white people. Like you can throw a pen anywhere and there's so many white authors who are writing white characters. Um and to me, a lot of the cozy mysteries that I read, it's always that one black character and everybody else is white. And I'm wondering if that's a trend. Like I'm trying to think the only fully black cast, and if they were white, they were a predator, which is terrible. But if they were white, they were a predator. Is the Blanche White series? I felt like most people, 95% of that cast was black. If you have not read that series, you guys, you're sleeping. It's seriously the best black cozy mystery series I've ever read. But outside of that, I've read other black cozy mysteries, but they always have like one or two black characters and everybody else is white. Now, is that true for everything? I don't know. But your girl been out here reading mysteries for some time now. And that just seems to be uh the thing. There are a couple indie writers on KU who I haven't read their stuff yet. But yeah, it's called the Blanche White series by what's her name? Blanche White by Barbara Neely. Fantastic.
This is gonna sound bad, but what characters were white? Was it the characters she was writing in her story?
They were white, the
Okay.
friends were white, the
The way
cast
again,
was
the way I
white.
didn't pay attention. That's my
Granny
bad.
Friends white. Yeah, Granny Friends was
I was
white.
also like listening while I was driving, so I could have missed some stuff.
Yeah, there it was. Yeah,
Okay.
I think only people I can think of who was white was her and her granny.
Maybe I just maybe I just skimmed over all the descriptions and just assumed everybody was black.
No, seriously, that's why I'm saying when I read it the first time, I assumed everybody was black,
Okay.
but it didn't read like everybody was culturally black. I just assumed they were ethnically black. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah.
Then I was reading some reviews and I said, oh,
Gotcha.
you know what I mean?
My
Granny
bad.
had one black friend. Yeah, 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 yeah. And then so I do have this cozy that I haven't started yet by Danielle Arsenault. I do want to read this soon, actually. Try to finish. Maybe I'll make this like my bedtime read, you know. So I do have this one. And that is this is a cozy mystery. Let me see. Black. Yeah, so I'm on Goodreads, and it has The Plot is Murder, The Mystery Shop, Hollywood Homicide by Kylie Garrett would be my second favorite cozy mystery series. All the characters are black. I think there's one character, side character, who is white. There's just so many that have a bunch of white characters that I'm trying to think of.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I read that A Spell for Trouble, and the whole time I was like, I can't tell who's black and who's not black.
Like that.
Because that's why I asked you, because they were talking about like Polish mermaids, and I was like, not that there can't be black Polish people, but I was like side eyeing a little bit because I was like, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Renee, your more recent comments, that's why I brought it up. Because I saw that you did. And we only know that because it's on page that she's black and from the South. Oh, Glory Bee's really good. Okay. Oh, all on KU. I'm going to try tonight. Yeah. Yeah, there's some KU novels. Like there is a series by Valerie Burns that I haven't tried yet. It's the Baker Street Mystery that also has a dog. I don't know anything about it. And then I always wanted to try the Eugenia Patterson Mysteries by Tyora Moody.
Ringo's Mambo and Murder. Interesting. To be wrong. Yeah, I totally get it. It is Blackwing. So the point is to.
Yeah, that snuck up on me. Just like this one. Again, I hate to keep bringing this one up, but I'm like, this is also a very interesting book. I don't know if there's going to be a fourth book, but it's just very interesting. And I'm reading it and I'm like, it's just, and I always feel like if you have to question it 9 times out of 10,
yeah.
If you got to question it,
it's valid questioning happening.
If you got to question it. I didn't know, I swear. I had no idea. I was catching up on it. I was just like, ooh, Yeah. Yeah.
Fair.
Oh, Floor. So you did like the Baker Street, and other people didn't. I also want to say, if you're looking for audiobooks, Cozy Black Mysteries, Chirp Books really be having a lot of deals. I don't know if y'all heard me typing so damn loud. So I apologize for that. I apologize for my quick fingers. But Chirp Books do be having some good sales on Cozy Books. Let me see if I can find something. So what's happening? Yeah, I'm telling you, Chirp will get you. I'm being for real. I'm being for real about Chirp. Oh, so Terry Crews have a book. Didn't know. It's $5 right now. Also, the love songs of W.E.B. Du Bois is $5 right now. That comes with a lot of, what is it called? Comes with a lot of trigger warnings. There we go.
Excuse me. Keep yawning.
But yeah, Do anyone have any thoughts on like the character development in this book?
I'm trying to think about it. Um, I'm trying to remember everything that happened. And I'm remembering more from the side story than the actual story. Um, but I did like the fact that, like, she used her, like, husband's death to, like, take a chance and start the bookstore, and I think it was a coffee shop too? Coffee bookstore? Um, yeah, I was gonna say I felt like I saw more growth within her story within the story than the actual main story, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I
Um
won't lie to you. Even though I love a story with a story, I did think the transitions from her story to the book she wrote was done very well.
Mhm.
However, I felt like there was more artistic ability in the story than
Mhm.
in the actual murder she's trying to solve with her grandma and her.
Yeah, like, I felt like there was more effort put into her story, like, written into her story than the main story, if that makes
Mhm.
sense. Like, the mystery was, um, I don't wanna say a lot more interesting, but it was more creative? I don't know if those are the right words
No,
to
yeah,
use.
creative. I was like, artistic ability? Like, hold on, let me go blow my nose real quick, y'all.
Um, yeah, but to be honest, I'm trying to think back and I, like, only have snippets of the main plot, and I'm just starting to realize that I don't even remember who the murderer was and what happened. Like, I know what happened, but now that I'm thinking about it, let's see. I like the fact that she was a teacher before she opened the bookstore. Yes, me too. Because I like the fact that I like the fact that she was honest and she was just like, it was time to get out and start something new. And I was like, I feel that, sir, ma'am. So I liked that that was a thing. And she was like, starting her like, she was leaving a career, but it wasn't, like, the end of the world. She was just leaving a career and doing something she actually wanted to do that she's, like, loved more. Yeah, like, I feel like now that I'm thinking about it, we knew more, like, we got more from her characters that she wrote, like, we got a whole love story, we got betrayal, we got all this stuff, and, like, more in depth about their personality than her personality. I think the only thing I remember mostly from her story is that she was grieving, and so she was still dealing with her grief from her husband dying, and then, that was kind of about it for me, and that's kind of still about it that I remember mostly. That and she, like, loved her former students when she, like, took that one boy in after he broke into her bathroom or whatever. Yeah, see?
Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to get this new box of Kleenex open.
Yeah, like, I'm starting to realize I don't remember the rest either, which oops. It's also been a few weeks since I read it. I read it at the very beginning of Black Queen too, so
Girl, I read it like in August.
mm. I was like, "Who Brie, who's the murderer?" 'Cause I don't remember.
I just felt like the plot within the story moved a bit faster
Yeah.
and more interesting, and the character development was a little bit more complex. I don't know. I don't know. Um, do y'all think that there was anything a part of the story that you felt like could have been done better, or like outside of what we said, or was unnecessary other than the story within the story? Gotta keep y'all thinking.
I did just remember how it ended. I remember who the murderer was.
VM Burns? Could be. I know it's VM Burns is for The Plot is Murder, but then it's Valerie Burns for
Floor
two.
Else said it is the same.
Mhm.
Excuse me. I'm so sorry, y'all. Had a long day at work. Jessica said you read this book in August, Bree.
I did. I want people to know that the 2-part Sugars, 1-part Murder series are $4.99 on Chirp Books.
Mm.
They got that thing over there.
I think the thing I would maybe change is now that I'm remembering who the murderer was, I'm like, I wish there was more lead up to that because I feel like it was a little random that that person ended up being the murderer.
I agree.
Like, I wish there was more, like, not like a whole thing, but like maybe a little bit more clues leading up to that person. Let's see. Yeah, like I felt like it was just like, oh, here's the murderer, bye. And it was like, well, how did we get from point A to D? Because I think we skipped B and C altogether. At least for me. Yeah. Like the lead up to it was like you thought it was one person, which is the typical mystery, I guess cozy, I don't know, light mystery build up. You think it's one person and then you think it's the second person. And then but I feel like I don't know, we didn't get him as a prime suspect for very long. Yes. I don't know. I could just be
I'm
talking around.
trying to type slowly if y'all not hearing it type, but
You're
it, it is a 3.7 on Goodreads.
Ooh,
That's not too bad.
that's not
However,
bad at all.
yeah, however, wow. Maya said this was 2 stars. Renee, I do see your 3.3, your 3.5. I'm reading your thing. So Renee said, I just need every author to understand you don't need to include the book your author character is writing. Just know in your mind that they're writing it. But yeah, this is serious. This is serious. Any final thoughts that people have about this book? Jessica, was you as saying I read this in August saying like it was too far back or what? I thought I was gonna go and get some stuff to make some soup, but I've decided not to do that.
That's
So I am leaving my house. Whatever in the fridge is gonna have to get eaten.
I think I might be going out again, but I don't know. I don't have to work tomorrow.
Oh,
Right.
she's a wild one, y'all. She's in these streets.
No, so because I went to get we went to a hookah lounge and
Huh?
then there was a football game, so my coworkers went to that and then I came home for the live show and stuff. And then they were like, oh, we're probably gonna go back out afterwards. So I told them to let me know. So I have no idea when the game is ending, so we'll see how I feel. It depends on how like buried deep under my blanket I get.
Wow, you out here in these streets.
Because that means I still gotta get in my car and drive back into DC and then still find parking.
No, I read it. So, what I do every year is I read Black crime fiction, mystery, thriller, suspense, whatever, throughout the year. However, August and September, while it's often why I forget to put online that I read books, or I always forget to account for it because I read exclusively, maybe I'll throw in some other books from other places or whatever, but I read a lot of books that will qualify for Blackoween, and like when Summerween starts, and I'll just be going until the end of Black Queen, just so because I'm hosting it. I want to have as much, I want to just keep reading what's out there so I can give good recommendations. Um, so that's what I do. And I often don't talk about that I do that. So I just be reading stuff, but I did finish this one in August. I just don't talk about it. I just keep it on a back end. But I'm hoping next year I read more cozies for KU, August and September, and then it's probably more cozies and Walter Mosley is probably what I focus on next year.
I definitely want to get more into cozy, so I feel like this was a good jump for me.
Mm-hmm.
So now I just gotta find my lane.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like for me, it really depends on it depends on what I'm doing. Uh Like, not it depends on what I'm doing. It depends on the author. Because Blanche White is in a I mean, Barbara Neely, RIP, really was in a league of her own when it came to Black cozy mysteries. And then I really like Kylie Garrett when she writes cozy mysteries.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my top. I'm trying to think of any other author. I've read the author who wrote A Deadly Scoop, but I just don't feel like it is as good as those other. Those are my top two cozy Black
Mm-hmm.
writers. I ride hard for Walter. Let me pull this up so y'all don't be like, she got some long titties. Because it's like, yeah, it's no bra. Um,
That's funny.
yeah, I'm trying to think if there's not anything else to say. Thank y'all for coming to the discussion.
Yeah.
Um, Even though it wasn't a banger, at least we now know what we don't like in cozies.
Yeah.
If nothing else, right? And on the replay, if you have parts of it that you like, parts of it that you don't like, my favorite part will forever be when she freaked out and was like, "Grandma, why do you have a gun?" And she was like, "Your grandfather," I had to let her know.
My favorite part was when I think it was either when the student showed up or the bad guy showed up and the grandma had him like had the gun face. She was like,
Maddie,
"Bruh, I will blow
Maddie.
you up."
Yeah, what they did for that student, I was like, now that's love, that's community.
Mhm.
Because I would have done the same. I would have done the same. Like when I was a supervisor at a university, I had a student who couldn't come in to work because
Mhm.
they're a water protector. And like twice they went to jail and everything. And I was just like, "Yep, I'm gonna send you your paycheck. You're good." Because they were doing the work. They just was like doing it in the middle of the night and giving it to me. Like they weren't just in their office hours. But to me, I felt like you're a water protector. I'm the supervisor of the indigenous garden. What would that look like for me to be like, nah, I'm gonna
Mhm.
kick you out? So I still was he was showing me to work on his own time, or on their own time. Keep misgendering. On their own time. and I was sliding them checks over. Slide. So I totally get it. Sometimes community looks different. Sometimes helping somebody looks different.
Mm-hmm. Valid. Agree.
Mm. All right, y'all. Have a good day.
Yeah, thanks for
Tonight,
coming.
those of you who have soup in your fridge, you are one of God's chosen ones. And because I really want soup, but I'm also leaving tomorrow to go to a wedding. So it would be just dumb to make soup tonight and it's sitting in my fridge all weekend. So
I'm sorry, Bree. I hope you can get soup while you're at the wedding.
why is life like this? Soup is my favorite food. I hate this for me. Anyway, see y'all later.
Good night.